Howdy folks, Enzo Treppa here with thedailyvoter.com. I just watched the webinar that was put on by Mike Killinger with the Bernie Sanders Activist Facebook page. It's a group that I belong to that I'm kind of, I believe in the direction that they're moving in. There seems to be like a lot of, Bernieites, if you will, and things that are popping up all over the place. But the Bernie Sanders Activist page seems to be something that kind of aligns with what I believe and what I'm thinking. So anyways, I just wanted to do this video and kind of do a quick overview of the information that was disseminated in the video itself. And one of the key factors that Mike was talking about, which I agree with, is he didn't really say it in this way, but maybe I'll just put my own spin on it, is that this movement is, honestly, it's party independent. The message that he was putting out there was that we all need to communicate, basically, regardless of your agendas or your party affiliation or what your candidate says and what your candidate you think is going to do for you and all this other stuff. The honest truth is that we're all in the same boat together. And regardless if you're a Clinton supporter, Hillary supporter, Green Party, Jill Stein, Bernie Sanders, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, whoever, the fact of the matter is that they're up here and we're down here. And so the more time we're down here and we spend going at each other and trying to toot our own horns and bash each other, it's a complete waste of time, because all that's doing is letting them win. And so anyways, the message that Mike was putting out there was basically, everybody needs to communicate. We all need to kind of push our differences to the side, and we need to take this thing on together. So anyways, in the webinar, he went over a multitude of things that the group is supporting and that the group is trying to move forward with. And I just wanted to do this quick video to kind of do an overview to disseminate that information and kind of do my part, not only for the dailyvoter.com, but also for the progressive movement itself. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so here's the Bernie Sanders Activist Facebook page, and Mike Killinger is the guy that did the webinar. And they basically got kind of a one sheet that has their objective, the values, their priorities, some causes, the common vision and whatnot, that you can take a look at and see, how that aligns with your beliefs and with your political views and whatnot. But anyways, this is what the Facebook page looks like, in case you want to check that out. So if you want to go to the Facebook page, it is facebook.com/groups/Bernie Sanders Activists. So I say join up whenever you possibly can. Okay, so how you can help. One, you can join the content distribution network and build a team. Myself, I'm solo and I'm independent right now, and hopefully I can connect with some other people and bring some more content to the table. You can get on the email list. And he said something about adding it to your friendly senders list, which I'm not familiar with that, but he said, take a look at that. I guess it's just so that it doesn't go into the spam folder. And that's mike@healourmedia.com. He says you can also help unify, on the group when you are a member and you join, and if you want to engage with other members on the group. But he was saying, and I agree with, is try to be respectful and help others understand. And it's difficult, kind of sticky, tricky thing to say there, because you might run into somebody who has a particular ideology, or they have a particular candidate they like, or a point of view, or whatever. And sometimes you're just never going to meet eye to eye. So he recommended, which I agree with, is that if you just run into that problem and you're not moving forward, then the best thing to do is just disengage and walk away, just so that you don't cause any problems. It's not, they win, you lose. It's nothing like that. It's just to try to remain civil within the group to keep the lines of communication open. You can also refer people to the BSA to be part of this unification strategy. And I'll go over a little bit more about that in the link. I kind of have these out of order from the way he did it in his seminar, or the webinar. And then you can also join the volunteer team and support a department. So more about that up here. Okay, so I'm going to go over the list real quick here. What they were proposing for Team Bernie is ending the TPP, ending Citizens United, free college tuition and rebuilding of the United States infrastructure, holding elected officials accountable, fair elections, basically eliminating election fraud, a brand new Congress by voting for political officials that are, a part of the movement, into the movement, and are progressive and want to make change. Support and implement strategies for a more than two-party system. Get Jill Stein up to 15% at the polls so she can speak at the debates. Support Bernie's new organization and continue the movement. Number 11, build the network that commits to sharing information and supportive content to increase public awareness. I like number 11 the best, and that's the reason why I'm making this video. Okay, number 12, do not participate in divisive conversations. Respectfully express views so we may grow our movement. And this is kind of what I was talking about before, is that if you do run into a problem, the best thing to do is to just to back out, and hopefully you can continue the conversation on another day. All right, let's continue to the next slide. All right, so this is what they were talking about with the departments. And then there was the BSA, the Bernie Sanders activists. I guess that's probably what that means. So they want to vet new members. I guess I'm not quite sure how they would do that. I got into the group. I just signed on, and maybe from the posts that I was posting, they thought that I was, okay to come on to the group. Number 2, content integrity team. I guess reported posts, etc. I think that what that means is they're looking for people that will kind of monitor the website, and if there's anybody that's causing a ruckus or being disorderly or getting personal about things, they need people to monitor that so they can handle those and put those fires out quickly. Number 3, building a managing volunteer team. I believe that is just getting volunteers to help manage the group and manage the other departments and whatnot as they're going. Because the thing is this isn't, this is going to be a mobilized, I guess, movement. We're all not going to be in the same place at the same time, but we're all going to connect through, either the Facebook page or, otherwise with our, social networking. Number 4, the content network. So it's informing to sustain mission and vision. Basically, that's, the entire body of folks that are engaged in the communication process. Number 5 is the media department, sharing truth-telling journalistic content. Number 5 is actually something that I would like to do, and that's another reason why I'm making this video. Number 6, Berniecrats and brand new Congress, keeping Department 4 and you and us informed. So basically, I think that's kind of like a top-down information funnel, if you will. There's another slide that I'll go to after that, and it shows the process of how that will work. And then revealing election fraud. So again, with so much disinformation that's going on out there, what's really important is trying to find like legitimate sources and legitimate information, because I guess what Mike was talking about was making sure that all information that comes through is pretty much clean, what I like to call clean info. That it's not agenda driven, it's not narrative driven, it's truth. And there might be some stuff that comes through the network that we don't particularly care for, but it will still be the truth. Okay, so number 8 is promoting events and petitions for our movement, which I think is an important thing, because that's like foot soldiers, right? I mean, in the various states and whatnot. I mean, when there's particular individuals that are supported by Team Bernie or otherwise. It's important to have those boots on the ground to go ahead, gather signatures, and bring the movement, to the trenches, pretty much, I think is what that one's all about. And then number 9 is Team Bernie coordinating with Bernie's new organization. That would be a cool position, but I think you're really, really going to have to be available to do that type of stuff. I mean, it's going to make, a huge commitment to be at that level, and it's something, I'd love to do, but I'm not quite sure if I'm ready for that. But anyways, and then number 10 is a management team to keep all departments running smoothly. And I think the best thing with that is if the people, try to maintain as much integrity as possible, with whatever posts or with whatever interactions or with whatever involvement they have, with this movement. I think, like a self-policing thing would be something that if it got out, it would be pretty impactful. I think that if a group got together and it wasn't necessary to like micromanage these things or like, keep having to like herd the cats, if you will, that type of a thing. And that I think would be really impressive. If the movement itself could do that, I think that would be very fundamental to its success. So we'll move on to the next slide. And this is what I was talking about with the hierarchy. this slide that Mike had put out. So you've got your content board. So like this is the top. This is where the information is going to come from, and then they've got the other members here. It says BSA members done complaining and ready for action. So I'm assuming that these would be the managers of the group and whatnot, and the other significant players, if you will, that are out there that already have teams together, that already have kind of like some momentum happening, or maybe followers or something like that. And then these would be the people, either on the team or under the team or a part of the team, or, maybe they might split off to create their own team, but, also with, keeping within the confines of the integrity of what the group is trying to put out there. And then, these would be all the people down here that the information, would be disseminated to through the actions of the group, as a whole. Now, the thing I think that's really, really important, again, is, like I said, the integrity of the information and the integrity of the group, just like Bernie was, really respected for his integrity, for his stands on, positions, and for him speaking up. And I think that would, is something that the group obviously is going to continue with. And I believe it's, going to be, like I said, integral to the group's success. This is a slide that he had up for Tim Canova. I believe he's running against DWS. I don't even want to say her name. She makes me ill. But I just included this to kind of, say, like, with the foot soldiers and the people that are on the ground collecting signatures and, getting events together, getting initiatives on the ballot, or, helping to get, people that are pro-movement, pro-progressive, into the elections and actually elected is what that's all about. And then this was an important thing here. This address down here, this http://bit.ly/2 AELNBX is a heat map that, well, not necessarily a heat map, but it's a map to identify what states are important. I don't have that thing, the key, but basically the green states were saying you can vote, I believe whichever way that you needed to. The white states were indicating that, Florida, Kansas City, Wyoming, Arizona, New York, maybe that's Vermont. These states were critical that you kind of remained party dependent. For instance, to try to get pro-Bernie Democrats elected in the state of Arizona, you really still need to be a Democrat to go ahead and vote for those people to get them elected. Because if you become an independent, or you go Green Party, then I don't believe you can cast a vote for those the pro-Bernie people. So that was really independent, because that's really important. So if you go to this link right here, there'll be more information, and there'll also be a guide as to what all of this stuff means here. And then number 9 was a little explanation that Mike had talked about. It's just compounded numbers, like compounding. Basically, if you had 100, you multiplied it by 5, then you multiplied that by 5, 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 and these were just people. Just with 100 multiplied by those 5, you end up with 1,562,500 people. And so that's pretty powerful when, just imagine if the network itself was built up and it was an integral network and the information that was being disseminated was truthful. Good, bad, or ugly, it's still truthful. Just imagine what kind of power that would have, because again, the thing that Bernie Sanders did that I think was so important and so relevant to the political system was he brought integrity to it. You didn't question where he was coming from. You knew where he was coming from. Even if you didn't like it, you still knew where he was coming from. He doesn't change. And so if Team Bernie and if the progressive movement can do that as well, like I keep saying, that's going to be the key to its success. I'm going to go ahead and leave this up here. I encourage you to join the Facebook page. I encourage you to engage. I encourage you to pay attention to the movement. Because like I said, it's something where it's a financial situation. If you are not a wealthy person, it doesn't matter what political affiliation you subscribe to, because we are all in the same boat together. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up the slides that I had. I just wanted to go ahead and do this quick video. It's probably not a quick video, but I just wanted to go ahead and do this video to disseminate the information. I want to get involved, and this was my way to do so. So one thing I'd like to say is, the dailyvoter.com is a website that I have, and the message of the dailyvoter.com is basically you can vote with your money every single day, with purchasing products, not purchasing products. I mean, you can spend or you can choose not to spend. One of the messages that we try to put out there is basically there's 6 corporations that primarily control everything. They've got, all these different brands underneath one umbrella, and you kind of think that you're buying these independent products when in fact you're pretty much buying, different products that fall underneath the same company. So it's a really important thing to understand that, in this political process, it's very difficult, for the individual to kind of make change, and that's what's so, I think, important about the movement, and the reason why I want to affiliate myself with, the Bernie Sanders activist movement is because of the fact that we have to disseminate this information, and we have to stay together, and we have to stick together, and we have to move forward together, because primarily, it's us against them. So anyways, I'm Enzo Treppa with thedailyvoter.com. Thanks for watching.